Cuellar after a little hiatus.
Hi, everybody.
It's been
a
crazy.
hiatus from the pod, but not from life.
Well, yes, obviously. Obviously, lots going on because the campaign is getting closer and closer to the primary.
Yeah, you've been a lot of places. Shiner.
Rockport.
We
We also did a filming of the TV ad, which just came out today. Like, I saw it on TV.
And it's live. You can see it everywhere.
Great reception to it. Everyone
nice.
that I've showed it to has liked it. Even Republicans.
Nice.
Yeah, they said it was fire.
Oh, nice. Cool.
So I think it was a good ad because not a lot you can put into 30 seconds, but I think it really showcased who I am.
Mm-hmm.
ER doctor, single mom, problem solver, not a celebrity. And that really is my life. Just moving around a lot like that. Some days are very different, especially with law school, with the campaign. Obviously, law school's over, but when I was doing law school, it definitely felt like constant doing.
Mm-hmm.
Dropping off Layla in the morning, having something to do after, having another thing to do after that, picking her up. Just busy life.
You were also invited to the South Texas Builders Association Summit. What were your thoughts? What did you do?
That was interesting because Monica De La Cruz was there. Henry Cuellar was there as well. But I thought what was interesting there at the end was somehow it got into the big, beautiful bill.
Mm-hmm.
And she gaslighted us, just like she's continued to gaslight us. And she talked about how great it was, about how there was no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, how it was going to improve on the child care tax credits. And I agree that there are some positives to it, but it's being oversold in terms of the tax on tips, tax on overtime, and the child care tax credits. And at the end of the day, there's so many other things that are wrong that are canceling out the benefits from the tax on tips issue, the tax on overtime issue, and the child care tax credits. You know, another thing that was interesting was that she posted a video talking about how great it is that gas prices are down, how great it is that Donald Trump did this. And then she talked about how housing prices are going to improve because of the Shower Act. And that was just more gaslighting. So the Shower Act is literally just an act regarding the efficiency of shower heads. So I think pretty much everyone watching this can tell that that's not going to vastly improve the cost of houses. Just changing the efficiency standards in your plumbing, your faucets, your shower heads. It's just typical. It's typical because, they like to gaslight us that they're doing so much to where even a very minimal improvement is shown to us as something great. And there's no recognition of the fact that there are so many things that are increasing prices for people, increasing the cost of living for people. But I do want to go back to the gas prices because I did want to investigate the claim that Donald Trump is the greatest man ever and and caused the drop in gas prices. There are a lot of factors. Economics is very complicated, especially when it comes to gas prices. So apparently the prices were high when we had more of a demand compared to supply, especially post-COVID, when people were like, I can finally get out. And then there was also the Ukraine-Russia war going on. The other thing that factors into gas prices is OPEC and what they do as far as production. So right now we're in a good place with those things, and that's why the gas prices are down more so than anything that Donald Trump has done. And I will say this reminds me, because if it was all about Donald Trump unleashing energy, why are our electricity prices up? So make that make sense, Monica De La Cruz.
Yeah, my electricity bill went up $30 this last time. I was like, what the heck's going on? And I didn't even do anything.
It's going to keep going up.
Yeah. And that's concerning because we just I'm in like boots with the fur right now because it's cold outside.
Yeah.
And not everybody can afford for that to go up.
And another point is natural gas prices are up too. We don't really rely on that so much here for heating.
Right.
But there are a lot of other places throughout the country where they do rely on that. Right. Especially up north.
But, well, sometimes people turn on their stove instead of running
you're talking about the stove thing, the Mexican thing. What we do as Mexicans.
We've always done that.
I thought you were talking about like a gas-powered radiator or something.
Oh, no. Because they're using it. Because I think our train of thought is that it's cheaper to use the natural gas to turn on the stove than to run your electricity. And I would have to see a price comparison. I don't know if that's true, but that's just what we've been accustomed to do, right?
Wait, is that what you're doing now at your house?
No, my gas doesn't even work at my house right now.
Okay. Like, wow, you're doing this even now. Today.
No. But I'm saying, I'm sorry. I thought you were still talking about the electricity bill. That the electricity is going to go up because of this week for people. And some people are living paycheck to paycheck. And if I saw a $30 increase and I didn't do anything different, like not one thing.
Yeah.
In fact, most of the time my air is super, like it's off most of the time.
Yeah.
And imagine families whose bill's already really high.
I mean, there are a lot of factors that are going into the increase in electricity prices. But one thing that definitely factors in is that the Trump administration does a lot of things that don't make sense, particularly with a pushback against renewable energy, because they think it's woke. I don't know what they think with some of these things. It's very strange. And that's why I actually have that as part of my policy, how we need an all of the above energy plan, so that people can have affordable electricity prices. And what that means is like basically unleashing all energy. So we could still have oil, gas, but also we need to really invest in wind, solar, and maybe even nuclear energy as well.
Yeah, and I like that plan because, women from South Texas who come from families of farmers. I know that right now we're not going to be able to get a backhoe and use electricity or a big tractor in the farm, on the farm. But we also need to evolve, and I think we could do it together.
Well, I think evolve is a really good word because what has happened with these administrations is that it goes too far one way and then it goes too far the other way. And we need to have balance. So, I totally understand that we do need to think about the environment. I care very much about the environment. And we also need to care about the people and the jobs that they rely upon. So we do need to think about transitioning off oil as much as we can. But it's going to take a long time. And we need to do it over that long time frame. And we need to be smart about it. We need to see what we can do so that these people that rely on these oil rig jobs, for example, have something that they can transition to. And that's why it's also important to not be so political about things.
Right. Science is science, peeps.
Yeah.
Science is
like
science.
How we've politicized, for example, electric vehicles. It's an amazing technology. We should be investing in it to some extent. We should be building the infrastructure, having more charging stations, but instead we're being slowed down from this amazing technology because of politics. Like, it's crazy. So yeah, in the Biden administration, you had the push to try to have all electric vehicles. And then now we're in the Trump administration. It's the push to not have any electric vehicles as much as possible. Obviously, we still have a lot and we'll continue to have some. But you see, like that extreme, it doesn't make any sense. So this is just a great example to me. As someone that likes electric cars a lot, it was never about the politics of it for me. It was about the technology and how cool it was. It's great to really build that up and have more affordable electric vehicle options and have the infrastructure so people don't have to worry like, oh my God, there's no charging station for 150 miles. What am I going to do? That's stressful because that's not an issue with gas stations.
On the other side of the coin, the electrical cars need to get better.
Right, exactly.
Because
you have to have the balance.
It takes a lot of time to charge those.
Yeah, with our personal experiences.
Yes. And we have to be realistic. Like I just mentioned, like there is no way you can be transporting loads of crops with electrical cars. Like we're not there yet.
Well, Tesla was building the semi-truck.
Right. Well, we're not there yet.
Right.
We can get there. We can evolve.
Yeah.
But right now we have to be realistic that we, like you just said, you can't go from one extreme to the other.
That's why you need to have people that are smart, very reasonable, and can sometimes push aside the politics.
What a word, reasonable. That's a phenomenal word.
I mean, I just feel like that's the word that probably captures me the most.
Yeah.
That's actually what people tell me, even Republicans.
So you've been really busy going to a lot of events, including what towns have we been to?
Yeah, so we went up to Alice, finally got an event set up there, thankfully. Somehow that was related to the Cheesemith 361 website. We got that connection there.
Great.
So after that, we got a meet and greet up there, and that was awesome. You know, what I really loved about that was that it was similar to a lot of experiences I've had. These people are so passionate.
Yeah.
They're so passionate about their community and making it better. And so I loved hearing that from the people and the elected officials, and they really seemed like they absolutely love that community. They want to stay there, and they want to make it better for themselves and for others, and they want to keep people there as much as possible. So I thought that was really amazing. That's the stuff that motivates me for sure.
Right. Super nice people. So shout out to all the people who showed up at the Alice event.
And what I got out of it too was that it's really important to continue to connect with these people, because that's really the only way to fully understand the issues that affect that community, and to try to figure out what bills can be written or championed that would help them specifically.
Correct. And then you went to
Rockport. Went to Rockport. And these are all separate trips. So there was a going up and back. It was not a little tour. It would have been easier, right?
Yes.
but yeah, we committed to going to a county dem meeting in Rockport. And that was great too. Got to do my little speech. People liked it. And they were excited about me. So that's really the sentiment I get in general. That people are really excited to hear my story, hear what I have to offer. And it's very good. It's fun.
Yes, because I think a lot of these folks are very busy and within their own communities to improve and to bring light to their needs. And so it was really nice to have a sit down conversation with them to let you know what's going on.
Yeah.
And then we went to Shiner.
Yes.
That was a truck, a little bit of a trip, but
4-hour drive. So
yeah, but it's so pretty there.
It was very pretty, but I will tell you that really drove home to me like how bad this districting issue is.
Yeah.
Like, why would you create a district that requires a 4-hour drive to get across?
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. Like, it doesn't make sense. I mean, we're happy to engage and go up and everything, but it just doesn't make sense, like logically, why you create districts like that.
Right. Because sometimes candidates or elected officials do not make time to go to those areas.
Yeah.
But you really thought it was very important to go.
Oh, yeah, of course. Like, I committed to that event. There was a lot of pressure not to go because, there's not a lot of people up there. And I understand that. And they actually told me afterwards, like, okay, now focus on the valley.
They're so nice.
Yeah. But, I committed to it and I keep my word. So,
but I think we also highlighted when we were there, their issues are different from the.
Yeah. And it was really important to learn about their rural issues, and particularly in relation to healthcare. And one thing that stood out to me the most was listening to the candidate, David Steves. And I thought he was very inspiring. And he had stories, and he had a story about a kid who had a rotavirus and was told at the local hospital that they couldn't help him there. And so that was one thing I really wanted to investigate. Like, why exactly could they not help him there for rotavirus, which is more of an issue that's going to cause dehydration, electrolyte abnormalities.
So essentially the treatment would be
IV fluids, maybe.
So they just needed IV fluids.
I mean, I don't know. That's why I'm very interested to know.
Textbook.
And those are the kinds of things that I want to investigate as a congressperson, and really bring in my healthcare experience, because I want to know, why were they not able to handle something that sounds relatively simple, but maybe it wasn't simple. But I don't know. Maybe it's an issue of not having people that are experienced enough in that particular setting. So trying to figure out what you can do to provide better healthcare in that area. I think there are a lot of possibilities. Could be bringing funding. It could be getting them the funding to get like a telemedicine service that could really coach a nurse practitioner or PA through it. So I don't know. There are a lot of things that we'd have to think about, but I would want to go up there and go to whatever ER or clinic that was and see what happened exactly. So we continue to have these conversations even after we leave, because we're very open, accessible. We continue to have dialogue with people from these counties. And one thing that someone messaged us was that in San Patricio County, which has a population of 40 to 50,000 people, there's no hospital.
Crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, one thing that could be looked into is, how do we get a hospital there? That would be a big thing. So as you know, as a medical professional too, sometimes time is of the essence. And
Right.
so not being close to a hospital can really be the difference between life and death, and even between the level of disability that you may end up with. So it's really, really important to try to give people access to care, access to emergency level care, and good emergency level care close by. And that's part of the thing that people need to stay in District 2.
Since the 1970s, can you imagine? Like, they had one, I guess. And then
I'd have to look into the history.
yeah, but that's just crazy because that's awesome. The way that you're able to speak to the people and they know all this because that's home to them,
Right.
and you're really trying to get out to see them.
Yeah. And so I think about things like if someone's having a stroke,
Yeah.
how they have a delay because of not having strong ER care nearby. Because it's not just about having, a small ER nearby. It's about having an ER that has the capabilities
Right.
to really treat someone who has a stroke or a heart attack or whatever it is that may be time sensitive.
Allergic reaction
Trauma.
from a car accident.
There are a lot of things. So that's why you need doctors in Congress. Because we really understand these issues. And like I said, when I heard the medical story from David Steves, that piqued my interest. Like, okay, I got to find out what happened there and what could we do to make it better.
There's a story that you always mention when we're on the road to people about when you showed up to Congress.
Yeah.
With
AAM, the American Academy of Emergency Medicine.
And were you all able to speak to a congressperson?
We did not. We did not speak to a congressperson, and that really disappointed me. Even being with the American Academy of Emergency Medicine, being with the president of the American Academy, we didn't meet any congressperson. We only met with staffers.
So you just mentioned that this is why we need doctors in Congress, because otherwise you guys aren't even getting to meet with them face to face, these people that are
right. Yeah, so there's the
bills.
barrier, but we're not going to create that barrier either.
No.
It's just not productive. I don't understand why there's a barrier being placed by people when you're working for your constituents. So you really should be prioritizing the people. Yeah. And the people who really understand the issues, like the freaking president of the American Academy of Emergency Medicine.
Right, and that's the message you've taken on the road.
Yeah.
Like when we were in Alice, you told the elected officials there, your problems are different from Hidalgo.
Right.
And Shiner and Rockport.
Right.
And Portland was canceled, so we didn't go there.
Right.
So.
When I also told them, and this was specifically in Alice that I mentioned this, we need to come back if we get elected.
Absolutely.
Like to have a little tour, essentially, and get back there and talk about everything that they want addressed. Make sure that we have everyone's contact information as far as the elected officials. So we'll be still working after November.
Well, I think this work it's very grueling.
Yeah.
But it's also when you see all
it's very satisfying.
When you see all the chaos going on, I'm trying to do something to make this place better.
Right.
And it's a lot of chaos right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of chaos because we have a Trump administration that does not really rely on the experts, that is anti-expertise, anti-knowledge. And then we have a lot of people who are spineless, who will not stand up to Donald Trump. And it's a problem. So we need people who have expertise, who have knowledge, and who will stand up. I mean, I think, honestly, standing up to Donald Trump is being on the right side of history. I don't see, if we look, 20 years from now, I don't see how anyone who stands up to Donald Trump is going to be wrong. Like, I'll take that to the bank,
Yeah. So we really want to thank everybody for their support.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of people come out to your events, like in Ed Couch.
Yeah.
The Delta area.
Yeah, we met a lot of people at the other events as well.
Mm-hmm.
So when we went out to Shiner, when we went out to Rockport, when we went out to Alice.
Edinburgh. We were in Edinburgh.
Good crowds. But it's not just about the crowds. It's about the people getting excited. And I very much feel that they're excited to have a candidate that is from the Valley, came from almost nothing, has a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience. And I'm not a politician. I've never been part of the political landscape. And we need that.
Right. We need maybe a little outsider coming in to help.
I'm very outsider. That's why I do things very different.
Yeah.
And I fight.
But it's been fun. And if you want to donate?
Yeah. Go to drquedforcongress.com because we've already got our TV ad out, like we said, and it costs money.
Everything costs money.
It's a beautiful ad. So check it out. It's on YouTube. And it's on TV too.
Alrighty, guys. And if you have any questions, please go ahead and reach out to us. You can reach out to us. I don't remember our phone number, but
Yeah.
it's info@drquarriorforcongress.com.
Great. Yeah. All right. Good times.
All right. Thanks,
Next
guys.
time.